Hi everyone. Middle of the night, can't sleep, so I'm going to play around here a little bit. And I'll show you a few more things that I've done here. I got my hydraulic brakes fixed on the front. I think they're going to be really good. Got my back ones done. A little bit of exhaust work and whatnot. I'll show you what I've done here. Okay, there's back to this front end again. I finally went to Regina here a while back and picked up the calipers and whatnot for this machine. I had the discs, I just needed the calipers and the hand control and whatever, master cylinder and hoses. It worked out really well actually. They cleaned up good. I took them apart and cleaned them, and actually everything was really nice. I just put them back together. I used the same stuff. There's not a drop of oil anywhere. They work good. Double lines. If one line breaks, it has a proportioning valve in the center. One breaks, the other side will still work. So that's kind of a plus, I guess. Double pistons, there's 2 pistons in each one. So they should have no problem at all stopping this thing. The back ones work good too. I built them so there's lots of leverage on the back wheel, so that worked good too. Here's the other side of these brakes here. They're kind of hard to see over here. There's not much light, but like you say, they're double hoses. If one hose breaks, the other guy still works. They go up. Meter and everything's in here. And then it just travels up to the master cylinder. Doesn't pump up or anything. It's like I said, I took it all apart and cleaned it. The top here was really gooey. When I took, yeah, it was just like grease. Just the oil dried up out of it, I guess, or whatever. As soon as I looked at it, I thought, you know, this is just absolutely useless even looking at it. But I kind of cleaned it out, and there was no pitting or moisture or anything in it. All it was just it lost its oil. And so I cleaned it all out, and it works perfect. I'm really impressed. Of course, I don't have a throttle, a crank throttle. I've got a thumb throttle. Okay, back brakes. Back brakes, actually, these are just pad brakes. They're not disc or anything. They're just shoes. They're like new. I took them all apart here a long time ago and cleaned them out. I built everything right from here, I guess. Ahead. And what I done, I don't know if anyone ever noticed or knows about these, but this differential, like the back wheel on this bike, is actually upside down. The shaft drive is really supposed to be on this side, but just the way things worked out, it had to be turned the other way. And so what I'm going to do with it, it'll be fine. So what I done, seeing as I need my foot brake, my back brake on the other side, I had to kind of build a jack shaft and go across through the frame. Actually, right down here, I made these little brackets and whatnot, and this piece runs through the frame, right through. There's a pipe there that's part of the frame, and then I made a smaller pipe. I machined the pipe down and slipped it inside. So it goes across to the other side. Okay, so we come through the other side here. Of course, I made another little bracket there. Those are simple to make. Anybody can make that stuff. And just aircraft cable is what I used. 1/4 inch or 3/16 aircraft cable. It holds, well, thousands of pounds. I've only got one clamp on each end actually. I'll double clamp them just to make sure everything's good, but they'll be fine. And all I did was run a hose over top of it just to protect it from the frame, and that's all it's going to get. It'll be fine like that. And it runs up to the brake pedal here. Very bare. I don't want anything else in the way. And it works really well. There's almost no movement there. And it locks them up. Doesn't take very much pressure to make it work well, so I'm quite confident that that's going to do a good job. I built everything the way I made them. There's lots of leverage. Like, you certainly don't have to push hard on the pedal to get action at the back end. There's lots of leverage on things, and that's the way it should be. I had quite a time figuring out what I was going to do with my transmission shifter. So what I done, I just took a piece of pipe and bent it. This position when it's up and hitting the top frame, that's park. And it's all the way down, touching the pipe at the bottom, it's in first. I'll probably be using first, and that's why I set it up that way. Don't have to look and fool around, just shove it down and it's where you want it. And it's just a simple rod and elbows and whatnot up to the tranny. Neutral safety switch and everything's hooked up now. Works good. Park and neutral, the only thing that it'll start in. And that's out of the way and simple, and nothing sticking out. That's why I built it the way I built it, because I don't want anything sticking out here. It's bad enough having the pedal out. And my new pipes. Just had them made. I just tacked them in place there tonight. Cleaned that plate all up. I'm liking them. I think they're going to be nice. I might build a little shield between my actuators for my 6-port. They're fairly close, and they'll probably be alright, but I think I'll build a little tin shield there just to take some of the heat away from them. Fairly short. Can't have stuff sticking out, because if it goes down it'll just tear it off. It's already out too far, but got to get them away a little bit. So I added an extra inch there. That should make it nice and quiet, eh? Yeah. Back fender. I had to steal a back fender, one of the fenders off of my mud pump trailer to, it's the only thing that I could find in the whole country that would fit properly. I've been in lots of places and there's all kinds of fenders, but nothing that worked good for me, so that's what I'm going to use. I guess I'll have to get a new set for my trailer. Fuel tank. It holds just over a gallon, and that's ample. That's all it needs to hold. It's actually a Kubota tank. It's got a really nice filter set up inside, and of course I've got another filter when it comes out of the electric fuel pump too, or before it goes in, I guess. So it has a little gauge on the other side of it. Got that in Saskatoon. Some guy had it on Kijiji. He actually had 2 of them. Fire extinguisher. I'm going to put one on it here someplace, but don't know just where. But I think it would be a good idea. Yeah, there's a shaft drive and whatnot on this side. It's actually supposed to be on the other side. Originally, that's the way they were. But that's the way I done it, because that's the way there was some room. So that's the way it got built. I'm really looking forward to building my cross mount. It's going to be, should be quite a machine. I've built some, drawn up some plans and whatnot for the frame and stuff, so it'll be like downtown when I get it done. So I guess now all I have to do is get my seat done and get all this frame and that cleaned up. I got quite a bit of welding to do. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to finish off and the welding until I'm done. And then I'll finish it up, clean it up, paint it. And take her for a ride. Fuel pump's tucked down in there, not too far from the water pump. Left a little space there. I thought it'd be nice out in front. It would keep it a little bit cooler rather than tucking it back in behind some of this stuff. It must get pretty warm. So I think it'll be better off up here. Okay, back to my ignition. I finally patched up a deal here. I think it'll work fine. I'm using the leading pickup in my Dizzy, and I bought a 4-prong high energy ignition module for General Motors. And actually I took my 2nd gen leading coil, I took the plate off of it and the igniter and whatnot inside. I removed it and I put the GM module right in the same place that it was in. I had to do a little chewing, but it fit. It worked real good. It's a nice small package. Everything's contained there. I'll see how this coil works. I don't know. I'll probably end up buying something else, but for now I'm going to run this. I did buy another module and whatnot, so I can change it over. So it's a high energy ignition, single fire, just using the leading. The trailing can, someday I might do something with them. We'll see if it makes any difference. But I really, from what I've been reading, I don't think it's going to make any difference at all if I hook them up. So I haven't actually had it running since I changed this over, but I did check the spark. I just set it up on the bench and turned the Dizzy really slow, and it arcs good. Like the pickups work really well on it, so I think it should work fine. I took the ballast resistor out of that coil, so it should actually, the way I understand it, it should load itself better on higher RPM rather than ballast resistor. I guess maybe holds it back a little bit when it's on the top. But anyway, that's what I did. The little bit that it's going to be running, hardly any idling, you know, that coil should last fine. If not, I've got another one. If it works good and gives me good spark and no fooling around, I'll probably set the other one up just the same way for a spare. Like I could change that over in 5 minutes if I had to, the way I built it and the way the brackets and that are. So I guess when I get it back outside again and fire it up, I'll show you. I guess we'll see how it works. So I guess one of the last things I'm probably going to be doing here, I guess, is getting some kind of a seat on it. I just haven't decided what shape or whatever to make. I just want something that's gonna kind of keep me stuffed in there so I don't have to hold on quite so hard. Put a new oil pressure gauge right on the middle of the plate here, just because I want to know what kind of oil pressure I got. Lots of things I don't care about, but oil pressure I do. She don't last long with that. It's a mechanical guy too, it's not electric or anything.